It's January the 15th. This is Video Diary podcast number 5. Have I reached my first target weight? Should I have treat days or cheat days? How's my dodgy stomach reacting to having to wait 3 more weeks for the colonoscopy? Why is there so much noise? Why am I being driven nuts by a Chinese shopping app? Come with me and find out before it's too late. Welcome to the YouTooSpain Video Diary. Hi, Scats here. It's Monday the 15th of January 2024. Let's talk about my weight first, because I have an announcement. I reached my first target. I've lost 10 pounds in weight. Woohoo! That's 4.5 kilos, by the way, in 13 days. Yippee! Here's the first weigh-in screen from my Scales app, 184.4 pounds. That's 83.6 kilos. And here's the weigh-in from yesterday morning with the daily graph below it. As you can see, it says 173.7 pounds. That's actually 10.7 pounds difference, which I make out to be 4.85 kilos. And the dogs agree with me, as you can hear. Now, I'm going to show you today's weight in a minute, and on the next video I'll chat about the other measurements that the scales take, because there's lots more to weight loss than measuring the daily weight. After the weigh-in yesterday, Liz and I went to a friend's house for a lovely roast dinner. Yes, nom. The chef, our very good friend, she is such a good chef. Oh yes, and she was very kind to make a meal that was not only a full non-keto roast that her and her husband were hugely happy with, but it had more than enough keto elements to make us very happy too. And they weren't just basic meat and veg stuff. All the cabbage had bacon bits in it. And there were creamed leeks with a few cheeky peas. Oh, cheeky peas, yes. Peas are actually quite sweet, so we wouldn't normally have them, or at least no more than just a tiny one or two. But anyway, I'll talk about treating yourself in a minute. I will. And the third thing, the vegetable, was cauliflower cheese, made without flour. Just the cream and the cheese, proper keto. Oh, and now they were also on the plate for them. I'll tell you about their choices as well, because, oh, you like this. Roast potatoes, nom. Oh, I'm salivating. Roast parsnips, roast carrots, gorgeous stuffing. Oh, I wish I could tell you what was in it, but I can't remember. And of course, proper Yorkshire pudding, which was, dare I say it, as good as what my grandma used to make. She was from Yorkshire. Sorry, grandma. Oh no, what have I said? Mind you, she used to use beef dripping to cook Yorkshire puddings in, so actually, come to think of it, you're all right, grandma. Yours are the best. Anyway, temptation on a big plate was right there in front of me. I couldn't quite resist trying one little roast potato. Actually, I'm being honest, it was just one tiny little roast potato. I had a roast parsnip, which one of those, cut in half and cut in half that way, so it was like a quarter of a parsnip. I had some stuffing, and I have to admit, I didn't just have a tiny bit of that, I had a little bit extra of that, and I had some seconds afterwards too. And one Yorkshire pudding, just one tiny, wasn't tiny at all. It was like, imagine a cricket ball, and then just imagine another cricket ball on top of it. It had risen really nicely. Oh yeah, so yeah, it was quite big. Oh, and I had to try the gravy, just a little bit. You can't do Yorkshire puddings without gravy, for goodness sake. It would be churlish to refuse. Now, Liz, on the other hand, she was very good. She stuck to the keto. She was rewarded, actually. She weighs herself at night before going to bed. She was rewarded with losing over a pound. I, on the other hand, was made to pay for my bacchanalian excesses, and here's the result. I'll put it on that side. This morning, as you can see, I went up 1.3 pounds to 175 pounds. I'm a little bit ashamed, but don't feel bad for me. I know from experience I can turn the tide and carry on going down again. Sometimes I feel, in my experience, I need a reminder of what not to do. And also, the most tasty bit of the meal for me was the very, very, very special and posh chicken. It was raised well. Yes, it was allowed to roam free. Well, free-ish. It was obviously fed very, very well on the best things. Probably caviar. No, probably not. Probably it was regularly complimented on its beauty and achievements. It's probably had classical music played to it permanently, and it's been allowed to read the classics and live happily and free from predators to a fair old age, then dispatched cleanly and quickly, by surprise, at its most relaxed. So it turned out fatty and delicious. I didn't really need to cheat at all. That would have been fine. I could have just had that. And of course the 3 veg choices that I had that were all delicious, and the sort of the herbs and stuff that were in them, oh, just gorgeous. Anyway, it's a lesson I've learned. I've probably learnt it many times before, and I'll learn it again. Next meal out, I'm going to try harder, and hopefully I'll find it easier to rein in the greed for carbs that haunts my very existence. Yes. Talking of which, treat days, or cheat days should I call them, should I have them? What do you think? Is this just feeding my addiction? And it is an addiction to me. I'm not just hyping that word up. Isn't it better to stick to the plan and not treat keto as restrictive up here? I mean, it is restrictive, obviously. Most diets are restrictive, but I do find the food choices very, very tasty because it's the fat that makes the food taste good. That's true. Can't get truer than that. So why not just be happy with what I can eat and do it properly? Accept it. Admit that I'm an addict to lots of foods, and they're a trigger for all of the reasons I'd overeat in the first place from an early age. And it's, I've been eating when I'm happy, and I've been eating when I'm sad, and eating for lots and lots of different things. How do you manage your demons? Tell me your methods and your dark tales. Speaking of dark tales, I had diarrhea the other day. Not a nice image. It was a gig day as well. I had to take Imodium, or whatever the Spanish equivalent is called, because I don't want to be jumping up and down when there's a risk of, let's call it human slurry, exploding from my trousers and popcorning the audience. Do you know that word, popcorning? That's what happens when you spray plaster on a wall and it's all in bits like that. Yeah. I'm going to leave that image in your mind. That's the one that I'm going to leave for today's diary. How's my stomach then, apart from that, you ask? Happy stools? Well, not particularly. There's been regular blood. So I'm not enjoying having to wait 3 weeks more for the colonoscopy. It's a worry, and it still hurts, or, it's not sharp pain, but it's a worry. But can't do anything about that until we find out what's going on. Maybe I should start eating food. This is what I'm thinking at the moment. Start eating foods that are more low fibre already. I'm used to eating a few walnuts and Brazil nuts, maybe just a handful for my snacky lunch. I eat some of the vegetables that they say. Definitely no vegetables. They say no vegetables at all, really, but broccoli and cauliflower are the really fibrous ones. So stuff like that takes more breaking down and can hang around in parts of your colon, and parts of my colon that have got the kind of damage that they've got, possibly, and irritation that comes with the harder foods, whether it's polyps or whatever the damage is, and I'm not going to know until after the procedure. So I suppose it wouldn't hurt to find the alternative softer foods for now and work up to that, because I need to create a menu for the week leading up to the colonoscopy. Tell me what you think anyway. I'm always open to your ideas. I'll have a think about it too. I'll do a bit of research and I'll update you in the next diary or two. Thanks again for your continued comments, by the way. You're all being very kind and helpful. And thanks for watching the video shorts that I'm making with the help of a little AI program. It's just grabbing a part of another video. And the one today, this is Monday. I don't know whether this is coming out today or probably not until tomorrow sometime. But anyway, Monday, one of my videos is taking off, and it's only like 21 seconds long. But keep on watching it. What you can do is just keep on putting it on repeat and just leave it going with the volume down. then I'll get thousands and thousands of watches, and what that does is it pushes all my other videos up the side of the screen so other people can see it and go, oh, I'd like to watch that. Yes. So what else was there? Oh yes, the noise. Well, I said this is going to be something about the noise on the top of the video and in the title. And when I was trying to find the video title, I've got a video title generator that I use sometimes to try and find out what words are most helpful and most searched for. So when I put the word noise in there, along with the other words I had, which were all connected with my stomach, the AI assumed I meant noises from within. But actually I didn't. I meant noises from without, out there. You may have heard the occasional shouts. Well, you certainly heard the dogs barking earlier, but this morning and this afternoon there have been shouts and machine noise in the background. It's not been so bad with the door shut, especially this morning. I was outside having my first coffee of the day and there was shouting and drilling and jackhammering and angle grinding, pickaxe hammering, and there was one bloke whistling quite tunelessly. Oh, there's a dog now. More than occasionally, this whistler was using the same notes that Liz and I used to get the dog's attention. That wasn't one of ours, but our dogs, there's a certain whistle we use anyway, and he sounded just like that. So they were really, really confused and disturbed and agitated. They tend to think, I know what they think, you see, they think that when they're in the garden, anyone just the other side of the wall, whether they're chatting or walking or cycling or even just breathing, that they're some kind of psychopathic invader that needs telling not to murder us all. Now, bearing in mind that it wasn't just the building site on one side, we've kind of got used to that mostly, but this morning the local broadband company that we really like, they decide to dig up the road just outside our gate and then just up there. So apologies for any of the noises that have leaked onto this video. I think it's mostly dogs barking and the occasional car passing. I'm not complaining, by the way, not at all. It may have sounded like that, but no, I know that it's only working people doing their job and enjoying a bit of banter, just using a few more tools than usual. Most of the time it's quite funny, actually. I used to, when I was making videos, be quite pernickety. I like that word. That's the word of the day, pernickety. I used to be quite pernickety, and when I was recording, if a car came past, like this, good timing, I used to have to stop the recording and then do that bit again, and I'd curse the cars because sometimes there would be just traffic going past on that little road outside. But I'm not going to do that anymore. We're all just going to have to put up with it, okay? Hopefully you won't hear any of it anyway. The last thing I said I'd chat about for your amusement, Chinese shopping apps. Why am I being driven totally nuts? Well, it's one app in particular that Liz and I have become addicted to. It's called Temu. Other apps are available, by the way. You probably already know it and you've seen adverts on Facebook and everywhere else. All of their goodies, I think, are shipped from China. There's loads of stuff. They're mostly cheaper than buying elsewhere. It's just a great app for browsing and choosing gifts as well. And there are loads of different sections split down so you can find things. There's some great gadgets and toys and lights. There are things I haven't seen elsewhere as well. That's quite handy for finding funky presents for people that are impossible to buy for. Plenty of groovy, shiny and sparkly and twinkly things, just like what we like. I have to say, I'm not on commission, by the way. I'm not advising you to use the app or any other similar apps like that. I do have a strong suspicion that there are ethical problems like child labour, slave labour, low wages, and the usual problems that you see in the press with China's records on political prisoners and eradication of people, protesters and all that kind of stuff. And of course the goods can be of cheaper and inferior quality sometimes, not always. We've actually had plenty of things that are working very well. So why are they making me pull out my hair like a mental asylum inmate? Well, it's the game that's attached to the app. When you first start shopping, you don't know about the game, but at some point, in the first couple of weeks of excitement, when they're drawing you in with massive discounts like drug dealers outside the school gates, they offer you some free gifts. All you have to do is water a few plants. And so, suddenly you're in a game. Why am I watering plants? I was doing some shopping. Okay, all right then. Well, it's this game called Farmland. And you just get points. And they tell you, yeah, when you reach the end, you get loads of money off coupons and 2 gifts of your choice. And they're pretty good gifts too. And that's it. Or at least that's how it seems when you're first playing it. Actually, what happens is when you reach the end of, there's like a bar, you know, when they're collecting money for a church and you get the thing coloured in to the top. Well, it's like that, but lying down. And when you reach the end, it gives you a certain amount of money, of euros. It's not something that you can actually hold or get rid of or spend, but, you know, you've got money. It needs eventually to add up to 100% total. And when you get to the top, you're 50 euros short of the total you need. But no worries, the watering of the crops is very quick, and you get loads of different ways to get more water so that you can water the crops, and you get loads of chances to build it up and move very, very quickly. It's quite satisfying actually, and it's a pleasure to play. So you start again, and this time you don't get quite as many drops of water, so it takes a little bit longer, but you think, well, it's worth a few minutes a day because, well, you're nearly at the top again. But when you do get to the top again, this time it only gives you 30 euros, so there's still 20 left, and you can see what's coming, can't you? It's like watching uranium decay. You know, uranium's got a half-life, so you get about half less each period of time, and the rewards become smaller, so it takes longer. So actually it's not like quantum half-life, it's more like trying to reach the speed of light. The closer you get, the less it's possible to achieve, and time slows down almost to a standstill, and you end up frozen in a big black hole way beyond the event horizon, with no hope of ever returning, your mind stretched out like spaghetti until you finally break down into quantum-sized pieces to be spread across the multiverse, waiting billions of years for the next big bang. All I wanted was a leather man bag and a tie-dye hoodie. So that's 15 minutes of every day that I'm not getting back. I'm down to only needing 1 cent now. God knows how they're going to break that in half. I'll let you know when or if I reach micro or millicents or some kind of alien currency like Bitcoin. Oh no, it's going to be Bitcoin, isn't it? Bollocks. Next time, I'll chat about the other body measurements you can do with my Scales app. We've actually bought some more scales too. I have to pick them up from the shop now where I've got my postbox. So it'll be interesting to see how they compare. And there's a new app as well. So I'll be displaying. Actually, I think I'm going to use both scales to start with to see which one, if one weighs more than the other and whether it's calibrated differently. You'll see that in the next one. Till then, thank you so much for watching and supporting. You can buy me a coffee or 3.com at the link below the video. Be good to each other. Peace and love. See you in the next video. Bye.